Today, I will share the secret to baking the perfect, wonderfully moist chocolate cake. In a large bowl, let's begin with 2 cups of sugar. Next, we will take a sieve and add 220 grams of flour, 85 grams of unsweetened cocoa, a heaping teaspoon each of baking powder and baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. It is very important to sift these ingredients well. Now, take a whisk and gently mix the dry ingredients until perfectly uniform. While whisking, be sure to gently reach the very bottom of the bowl. This simple habit ensures that no heavy sugar or flour remains unmixed at the base. Now that our dry ingredients are perfectly blended, it is time to add the wet ones. I will add 2 large eggs, half a cup of vegetable oil, and 1 cup of milk. I highly recommend making sure your eggs and milk are at room temperature. This simple trick allows everything to combine much smoother, and using vegetable oil instead of butter is my personal secret for ensuring the cake remains incredibly moist. Now I will take my whisk and mix everything together thoroughly. Let us whisk this patiently until we achieve a beautiful, uniform consistency. We will set our mixing bowl aside for just a moment. Now we take a small glass, add 1 teaspoon of coffee, and carefully pour in 1 cup of boiling water. We stir it well and leave it to cool just a bit. This little addition is our secret today. The coffee will beautifully enhance the chocolate flavor, making it incredibly rich without leaving any strong coffee taste behind. Now that our coffee has cooled down a bit, we pour exactly half of it into the batter. Using our whisk, we gently stir the mixture until it comes together. Adding liquid in 2 stages is a great little trick. It prevents splashing and makes it much easier to achieve a perfectly smooth texture. Once the first half is incorporated, we pour in the rest of the coffee and mix thoroughly one last time. It is time to prepare our baking pans. I am using 2 9-inch molds for this recipe. We take a good piece of butter and generously grease the bottom and sides of both pans. This simple step ensures our delicate chocolate layers will not stick and will be completely effortless to remove later. To be absolutely certain our delicate cakes come out flawlessly, we place a circle of parchment paper at the bottom of each pan. The combination of butter and parchment provides perfect protection. Now, we slowly pour our rich chocolate batter into the molds, doing our best to divide it equally. Evenly filled pans mean the layers will bake at the exact same time, giving us a beautiful, symmetrical cake. Now we place them in a preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven for half an hour. While our cake layers are baking, we can prepare the frosting. We pour 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream into a deep bowl and begin whipping it with a mixer. A wonderful secret for perfect whipped cream is to make sure your cream, and even the bowl, are very cold. Once it slightly thickens, we add 1 heaping tablespoon of sugar and whip everything together again until perfectly soft and fluffy. For now, we set this bowl aside. Next, we take 2 chocolate bars, weighing 200 grams, and carefully chop them with a knife. We want to cut the chocolate as finely as possible. The finer we chop the pieces, the faster and smoother they will melt later, giving our frosting a perfectly silky texture. That is absolutely perfect. We will set our chopped chocolate aside for just a moment. Now we need to carefully extract 3 egg yolks. To make this step incredibly simple and keep the yolks perfectly intact, I use a handy egg separator. To our 3 yolks, we add 1 tablespoon of sugar. We take a silicone spatula and mix them together immediately. A small but very important secret: mixing the sugar right away prevents it from absorbing moisture and creating hard, yellow lumps in the yolks. Next, we pour in 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream. We stir everything thoroughly until we have a smooth, beautifully blended mixture. And now, we take this saucepan and head straight to the stove. We place our saucepan on low heat, stirring constantly until the mixture becomes hot. It is very important that we never let it boil. After taking the saucepan off the stove, we gently stir the mixture once more. Next, we carefully pour in the chocolate we chopped earlier. The residual heat from our custard base is exactly what we need to melt the chocolate safely. We start stirring slowly from the very center of the pan, gradually moving outwards. We continue mixing patiently until the chocolate completely melts and combines into a wonderfully thick, dark, and shiny frosting. We return to our whipped cream and carefully pour in the chocolate mixture. Using our spatula, we gently fold everything together until perfectly uniform, keeping the frosting wonderfully light and airy. We place our mixture in the refrigerator for 15 to 20 minutes. By this time, our cake layers are perfectly baked. We carefully remove them from the pans. We take it out of the fridge and mix it again until perfectly smooth. The moment has arrived to put our cake together. We place a generous amount of our thick chocolate frosting onto the bottom layer. We take a spatula and smooth it out perfectly evenly. We want a nice thick filling to keep the cake incredibly moist. Now, we carefully set the second cake layer right on top, pressing down very gently, and repeat the process. We add the rest of the frosting, spreading it beautifully over the top. Just look at how incredibly moist and rich this cake has turned out. The delicate chocolate layers paired with that silky, thick frosting create a true masterpiece. I sincerely hope you enjoy baking this beautiful dessert for your loved ones. Now the very best part. Notice how perfectly soft the crumb is when we take a bite. This beautiful dessert is a wonderful reward for our time. Enjoy your baking and have a wonderful day.